Hello everyone and welcome to Hip Opening Yoga. I'm super excited about this class. So it'll be a moderate intensity class. If you've never done yoga before, I would maybe suggest doing my yoga for beginners video. But if you have and you know what you're getting into, then let's do this. So hip opening poses have a lot of benefits. They help, of course, loosen tight hips, and this can help with pain in your knees and in your lower back. Especially back pain, which I've dealt a lot with, and these poses definitely help with that. And it can also help us to release emotions and negative feelings that we store in our hip joints. So you might feel emotional after this class. I've definitely had that happen before. So for this class, we'll start standing at the top of the mat. Close your eyes. Tadasana, mountain pose. So really ground down through the feet, broadening through the collarbone, nice and strong in the legs, standing tall, chin parallel to the mat. Feeling a line of energy starting at your foot, the arches of your feet, traveling up your legs, to the groin, up the abdomen, and out the crown of your head. Notice what it's like to be in this space, to be in this moment, and to be inside of your body. You are the only person who will know what it's like to be inside of this body, so it's a really good idea to spend some time getting to know your body. Really focusing on what it feels like to be inside of this body. And starting to be aware of your breath, air coming in and out of your lungs, bringing you fresh oxygen. And we'll start actually today with some Sanskrit chanting, so you can just listen. I studied yoga in India, and we would do these chants every day with our main teacher.
Sarvasam swastir bhavatu. Sarvesam shantir bhavatu. Sarvesam poornam bhavatu. Sarvesam mangalam bhavatu. Kyane vache yendri airva Budhyat manava prakriteh Karomi yadyad saklam parasmai yeti samapayami. Kyane vache yendri airva Budhyat manava prakriteh Karomi yadyad saklam parasmai yeti samapayami. Yeti samapayami. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
If you would like to know what any of those mean, you can read the description in the YouTube video. It'll have an English translation. Start to lengthen your breathing. Deeper inhales and exhales. And keep this breath nice and steady throughout the practice, breathing in and out of your nose if possible. And every time you come into a pose in this practice, really try and feel what it's like to be in this pose, for your body to make this shape. Blinking your eyes open. Inhale to reach your arms up to the sky and stay here, really reaching up, making yourself as tall as you possibly can. And on your next exhale, bowing forward, coming down to a forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, put your hands and step back to a high plank, lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, pull through for upward facing dog or cobra, and exhale to downward facing dog. So we're starting out with some sun salutations, Surya Namaskar, to really warm up the body. You can bend your knees, pedaling out your feet to start working into the backs of your legs here. And then find some stillness, really pressing your sit bones up and back. You can have a slight bend in the knee. And inhale to look forward, bend your knees, and then hop, step, or jump to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise all the way up, reach up and look up. And exhale your hands to heart center. Inhale to reach up to the sky. Really push your hips forward here. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant your hands and move back to either a high plank, lowering halfway or all the way, or jumping straight back to chaturanga. Inhale for up dog or cobra. And then exhale for downward facing dog. So if you step back, you can step back to high plank and then lower halfway or all the way, or you can come to your knees and lower to chaturanga. But if you jump back, don't jump back to high plank. This isn't very good for your shoulders. So jump straight back to chaturanga and then come through for your up dog or cobra pose. Press your sit bones up and back here in the downward dog. And then bend your knees, look forward, inhale as you jump forward, lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, look up. And exhale, hands to heart center, samasthiti. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant and move back, lowering. Inhale for up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Pressing your chest towards your thighs, pressing your sit bones up and back. Keeping the weight in your index finger and thumb, not dumping it into your wrists. Trying to press your heels down towards the mat. Bend your knees, inhale to move forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise up, reach up, look up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, bend your knees, sit your hips back, reach up for Utkatasana, chair pose. And exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, move back and lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale for down dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward, rise up for warrior one, Virabhadrasana A. And exhale, plant your hands, step back, keep exhaling as you lower. Inhale for up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward, rise up, Virabhadrasana A. Exhale, plant your hands, step back and lower. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Breathing here. Lengthening through the spine. Opening through the backs of the legs. Maybe feeling your heels already coming closer to the mat. Inhale, bend your knees, move forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, sit back, rise up, Utkatasana. And exhale, Samasthiti, hands to heart center. Take a few breaths here, reconnecting with your breath. Nice and long and steady. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, move back and lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to wave forward to a high plank. And then exhale, bend your knees, move your hips back, and then up to downward facing dog. Again, inhale to wave forward to high plank. Exhale, bend your knees, move your hips back and up. One more time here. Wave forward on the inhale, and on the exhale, bending your knees, moving hips back and up. Inhale to lift your right leg, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip. Breathing here, keeping your shoulders square towards the front of the mat. And inhale to straighten your right leg, and exhale to bring it through, plant it between your hands, and lower your left knee down to the mat. Low lunge here, so start by bringing both hands to your right thigh, sink your hips down towards the mat, and you can stay here, or you can reach both arms up to the sky for a low crescent lunge. It's a bit deeper of a stretch, and for even more, you can start to reach your hands up and then back, channeling a back bend here. Still sinking your hips down towards the mat. Breathing into the left hip flexor. Exhale, lower your hands down and bring your left hand to your right thigh. Reach back with your right hand, bend your left knee, and grab hold of your foot for a low lunge quad stretch. Looking over to the right, opening your chest out to the right. Sinking your hips down, breathing into the left quad. Exhale to release your left foot. Walk your right foot over to the right and lower down for lizard pose. You can come onto your forearms if possible. You can keep your toes pointed forward. You can also come onto the knife edge of your right foot. And if you want to, you can play with lifting your left knee off the mat. And then moving forward and back. So moving forward onto your toes and then pressing back to your heels, sort of working into your hips here. Breathing here. Nice deep hip opener. Inhale to come onto your palms if you're on your forearms and walk your right foot in between your hands. Lift your left knee off the ground for a runner's lunge. And then on your next inhale, bring your right foot up and back for three-legged dog. And exhale to set it down on the mat, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left foot, three-legged dog. Bend your knee to open your hip. Breathing here, pressing your right heel down towards the mat. Inhaling to straighten the left leg, and then exhale, bring it forward between your hands. Lower your right knee down to the mat. Bring both hands to your left thigh, and then if you would like, bring them up to the sky for a low crescent lunge. Sinking your hips down towards the mat, and if you want to, starting to reach up and back, channeling a back bend, letting your head fall back. Exhale to lower your right hand onto your left thigh. Reach back with your left hand, grab hold of your right foot for a low lunge quad stretch. Looking over to the left, opening your chest out to the left. Kind of pushing your left thigh out towards the left. Breathing here, breathing into your right quadricep. Exhale to release your right foot. Lower your palms down to the mat, to the inside of your left foot for lizard pose. Lowering down to your forearms if possible. And then again, you can keep your right knee on the mat, or you can lift it, moving onto your toes and then pressing your heel back, sort of working into your hip here. Find the pose that works for you. It's totally your choice. Inhale to come onto your palms if you're on your forearms. Walk your left foot in between your hands. Lift your right knee for a runner's lunge, pressing back through the right heel, looking forward. And on your next inhale, bring your left foot up and back for three-legged dog. And exhale to set it down on the mat for downward facing dog. Bend your knees and then move your feet to the front of the mat. Cross your legs and then come to sit and then recline on your back. So we're going to do our reclined poses now. Some people like to do these at the beginning of the practice, but I like to warm up first, do some sun salutations. So I'm a little more warm before doing these. So inhale, hug your right knee into your chest and pull it in nice and tight, pressing your left thigh bone down towards the mat. For wind relieving pose, take some nice deep belly breaths here. And then grab hold of the outside of your right foot for half happy baby, extending it up and then pulling your foot down towards your armpit, still pressing your left thigh bone down towards the mat. Bend your left knee, keeping the sole of your left foot on the mat close to your left butt cheek, and place your right foot on top of your left knee for reclined pigeon. You can stay here, or you can grab hold of the back of your left thigh and pull it in towards you, flexing both of your feet here. Exhale, lower your left foot down, extend it out long. Grab hold of the back of your right leg, grabbing onto the back of your thigh or your calf, or if you can, reaching up and grabbing hold of your right big toe. Flexing your foot and breathing into the back of your right leg. It's okay if it shakes. And then exhale, extend your right leg out to the right, so trying to bring your foot down towards the ground. It's okay if it doesn't touch the ground, but you want to keep both of your sit bones on the mat here. Breathing into the right inner thigh. Inhale to extend your right leg up, and then lower it on the count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right heel hits the ground. Take a moment, both legs on the mat. And then inhale your left leg into your chest, your left knee into your chest. Pressing your right thigh bone down towards the mat, really pulling your left knee in tight. And grab hold of the outside of the left foot, extend it up for half happy baby. Pulling your left foot towards your left armpit. Breathing into your hip, your hamstring, your glute. Come to reclined pigeon, bringing your right foot towards your bum, setting your left foot on top of your right thigh, and then grabbing hold of the back of the right thigh, pulling it towards you, flexing both your feet here, keeping your low back on the mat. Exhale to release your right leg long, extend your left leg up and grab hold of the back of your thigh or your calf, or maybe reaching up, grabbing hold of your left big toe. Flexing your foot. Breathing into the back of your left leg here. And then on your exhale, extend your left leg out to the left, keeping both sit bones down on the mat. Sending that breath to the left inner thigh. Inhaling to extend the left leg up, and then lowering 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And inhale, hug both knees into your chest, but keep your upper back and lower back both on the mat here. And grab hold of the outsides of both feet, come to happy baby. You can rock your baby from side to side. You can straighten one leg and then the other. Release your feet and grab hold of the backs of your thighs. Start to roll along your spine, rocking and rolling. Eventually crossing your legs, rolling over them, and coming to a wide-legged child's pose, knees wide, feet together. Resting your forehead down on the mat. Sinking your hips back towards your heels and breathing into the back of your body. Really letting your upper body melt down towards the mat. And then inhale to come up to a tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips for downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg for three-legged dog, bend your knee, open your hip. Inhale to straighten, and then exhale to bring it through, plant it between your hands, and then look forward, press your chest forward in this runner's lunge, pressing back through the left heel. Inhale to rise up to warrior one. So find this pose with your lower body first. You can keep your left heel off the mat, or you can press it down. If it's off, be pressing it down towards the mat. And reach up to the sky. Try and tuck your tailbone underneath of you here. Bend a little bit deeper in the right knee. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips, bend the left knee, and then inhale to launch forward, extending your left leg forward, hugging it into your chest. Stay here, or if you can, extend it out long, grabbing onto your big toe. Breathing here. And then whether your knee is bent or straight, extend it out to the left. Extending your right fingertips out to the right, and if possible, once you find your balance, looking out to your right hand. Trying to keep your hips level here, so dropping your left hip slightly. Inhale to bring your left leg to center, and then hold it here, bringing your hands to your hips. And then bend your knee and bring it back. Set it on the ground behind you and come to a warrior two. Nice deep bend in the right knee, pressing down on the outside of the left foot. Looking over the right fingertips. Bend a little bit deeper in the right knee. Come to extended side angle, so bring your right elbow to the inside of your right thigh and your left fingertips reaching overhead. Nice deep bend in the right knee, still pressing down on the outside of the left foot. Nice long line from the outside of the left foot up through the left fingertips. Bring your left shoulder back slightly to open your chest. Keep breathing here. When the pose gets difficult, breathe through it. Inhale, press into your feet, come up to warrior two. And then straighten your right leg, bend your left knee, and lower your hips down for Skandasana. You might have to move your foot, trying to keep your left sole of your foot on the ground. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale to come back to warrior two, and then exhale down to Skandasana. Inhale up to warrior two. Exhale, bend the left knee, Skandasana. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, Skandasana. Inhale, warrior two. And last one, exhale, Skandasana. Inhale, this time straighten both of your legs. Bring your hands to your hips. Make sure you have plenty of space between your feet. Broaden your chest, inhale. And then exhale to fold forward into Prasarita Padottanasana, placing your palms on the mat in line with your feet. Inhaling to lengthen your spine and then exhaling to fold deeper forward. Try to bring the weight to the balls of your feet and bring your pelvis forward in space. Nice deep breaths. And you can stay where you are, or you can grab onto your big toes with your middle and index fingers and then pull yourself closer to the mat. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. And then inhale to rise all the way up. Bend back into the right knee for warrior two, just for a moment. And on your next exhale, cartwheel your hands down, step your right foot back, and lower for a vinyasa. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Inhale to lift your left foot, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip. And exhale, bring it between your hands, keeping your right knee lifted for runner's lunge. Pressing your chest forward, looking forward. And then rise up for warrior one. Again, you can keep your right heel off of the mat if you would rather keep your hips squared towards the front. Reaching up to the sky, looking up at your hands if you can. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips, bend your right knee, and then extend it out in front of you, coming to balance on your left leg, hugging your right knee into your chest. And then stay here, keep hugging it into your chest, or grab hold of your big toe and extend your right leg out long in front of you. And then wherever you are, leg bent or straight, extend it out to the right. And extend your left fingertips out to the left. Find your balance, and once you've found it, look out past your left fingertips. Again, trying to keep your hips level, so dropping the right hip slightly here. Inhale to bring your leg back to center, and hold it here. Bring your hands to your hips. Don't lean back. Move your weight slightly forward, and then move your right foot back to warrior two. Bend deep in the left knee. Look out over the left fingertips. Find a smile here. And come to extended side angle, reaching up and overhead with the right fingertips. Moving your right shoulder back to open your chest, pressing down on the outside of the right foot. Bend a little deeper in the left knee. Keep breathing. Inhale to come up to warrior two. Bend your right knee and lower your hips down for Skandasana. You might have to move your feet slightly so you can keep the whole sole of your right foot down on the mat. And then inhale to warrior two. Exhale, Skandasana. Inhale, 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 warrior two. Last one, exhale, Skandasana. And inhale, straighten both legs. And then point your toes out. So heels in, toes out. Reach your hands up to the sky for star pose. Exhale to sink your hips down. Bring your hands to heart center for a standing goddess squat. Inhale to bring your arms wide around and up to the sky. Straighten your legs. And then exhale to lower down. Inhale, arms wide and up. Straighten your legs. Exhale, lower down. And keep doing this with your own breath. Inhaling to straighten your legs, reaching up. And exhaling to lower. Trying to lower a little bit deeper each time. And trying to bring your knees back and your hips forward. And the next time you lower your hips, go ahead and stay here, breathing. And inhale to straighten your legs. Turn your left toes towards the front of the mat and come to warrior two, bending the left knee, looking out over the left fingertips. And on your next exhale, cartwheel your hands down, lowering through chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. From here, bend your knees, move them to the top of the mat, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift your right hand up to the sky, twisting open to the right, bending your left knee. Exhale, replace your right hand down. Bend your right knee and extend your left hand up to the sky, twisting open. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, left hand up. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, left hand up. Exhale, left hand down. Breathing in this forward fold. Grabbing hold of your big toes and bending your elbows, pulling yourself closer to your feet. Release your big toes, and with your palms facing up, your fingers pointing towards you, bring your palms underneath of your feet. Try and bring your weight forward into the balls of your feet, but not falling forward. Release your hands, and then inhale to rise up. Reach your arms up to the sky, reaching up and back slightly. A little back bend to counter the forward fold. And exhale your hands to heart center. Release them to your sides for Tadasana. Start to ground down into your left foot. Bend your right knee, hug it into your chest. And then bring the sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh or your left calf for Vrikshasana tree pose. Hands to heart center. Find your balance. These poses really help calm our minds because you have to focus in order to balance. Once you've found your balance, you can move your hands up to the sky like branches. You can bring them to a mudra, bringing your index finger to your thumb, connecting. And lower your hands down to heart center. Bring your right knee back towards your chest. And then release it down. Start to ground into your right foot now. Hug your left knee into your chest, and then place the sole of your left foot against your right inner thigh or right calf. Keep your hips level here, so you might have to drop the left hip slightly. Hands to heart center, and then if you would like, extend them up. Maybe again bringing your thumb and index finger together for a mudra. Exhale your hands back down to heart center. Inhale, hug your left knee into your chest, and exhale to lower it down to the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, samasthiti, hands to heart center. Bend your right knee, grabbing hold of the outside of your right foot with your right hand and the inside with your left hand. And then start to try and bring your thigh parallel to the mat. You can release your left hand and bring it up and out in front of you. And then start to lower your torso down, bringing your left hand down to the mat. For sugarcane pose, Ardha Chandrasana Chapasana. Kicking your right foot into your right hand, opening your hip, breathing into the back of the left leg. Really intense stretch in the back of the left leg here. On your next exhale, set your right foot down on the mat for warrior two, bending the left knee. Reverse warrior, reaching up and overhead with your left fingertips, right hand coming to your right thigh or around your back. Inhale to warrior two, and then exhale, cartwheel your hands down, lower for vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees, move your feet to the front of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, look up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do the other side. So bend your left knee, grabbing hold of the outside of your left foot with your left hand and the inside with your right hand. And then start to kick your foot into your hand, bringing your thigh parallel to the mat. Release your right hand, move it in front of you, and then start to lower down, bringing your right hand all the way down to the mat. Really kick your left foot into your left hand, open your hip here. Intense stretch on the back of the right leg. And then set your left foot down on the mat, come to warrior two. Reverse warrior, right fingertips reaching up and overhead. Inhale, warrior two, and exhale, cartwheel your hands down and lower for vinyasa. Inhale, bend your knees, move your feet to the front of the mat, cross them, and come to sit, cross-legged position. Place your left hand on your right knee and your right hand behind you for an easy seated twist. Looking over your right shoulder if you can. And come back through center, right hand on the left knee, left hand behind you, other side. Inhale back to center. Extend your legs out in front of you for Dandasana. And then we'll come to Gomukhasana. So bend your right knee, placing your right foot on the outside of your left leg with your right foot pointing out towards the left, sole of your foot pointing out towards the left. And then bring your left leg the same, pointing out to the right, sole of the left foot pointing out to the right. So your knees are on top of each other here. And you can grab hold of your feet and stay lifted. Try and broaden your chest, broaden through the collarbone. Or if you'd like to, you can fold forward over top of your legs. Trying to really feel your hips, your sit bones sink down. Trying to relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, relax your facial muscles. And go ahead and release your legs out long and come to the other side. This time bringing your left knee on top of your right. Feeling your sit bones sink down. Feeling this connection with the earth. Feeling the connection with yourself. With your body, with your mind, with your breath. And release, bringing your legs out wide to come to a wide-legged forward fold, flexing your feet. Inhale to reach up to the sky, and exhale to fold forward. You can reach your arms out in front of you, or you can grab hold of your calves, or your big toes, or your feet, to help pull yourself deeper into this pose. Trying to breathe, trying to relax your upper body down. Feeling the stretch in your inner thighs, the backs of your legs, keeping those feet flexed. On your next inhale, go ahead and slowly lift up. And then move towards the front of the mat, bringing your feet as wide as the mat with your toes pointing out and dropping your hips down for a malasana squat. Pressing your elbows against your thighs to help open your hips here. Sinking your hips down low, breathing. Open through the chest here. Staying nice and lifted. Can move from side to side. And then plant your palms, move your feet back and lower for Vinyasa. Holding in your upward facing dog, taking a few breaths here. And lifting your hips for downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg, three-legged dog, and exhale, move it through for pigeon. First, really trying to square your hips, squaring your hips towards the front of the mat. And if you would like to, rolling onto your right hip here. So kind of rolling back and forth, starting to work into your hips before you lower down into the pigeon. And really broaden your chest, come onto the tips of your fingers. And then lowering down. Relaxing your upper body. Breathing into your right hip, right glute, back of your leg. Noticing all the places where your body is making contact with the mat. Really feeling the connection with the mat, with the earth. Noticing which thoughts are coming into your mind while you're in this pose. And then you can stay here, or you can start to move into a pigeon twist. So moving your right elbow towards your right foot, and then bringing your hands at a prayer to heart center, so left elbow pointing up towards the sky. This might bring a bit deeper of a stretch. And pressing back into your palms, lifting your chest, taking a few breaths here, with your chest nice and lifted, maybe coming onto your fingertips, and then tuck your left toes, bring your right foot up and back, three-legged dog, and exhale, lower your right foot down, downward facing dog. Inhale to lift your left foot, three-legged dog, and exhale to bring it through for pigeon. Again, first square your hips towards the front of the mat to lift your chest, come onto your fingertips, and then you can roll onto your left hip, kind of rolling back and forth to start to work into your hip, helping it stay square towards the front of the mat. And then once you're ready, you can lower down to pigeon. Noticing what this side feels like compared to the other side, and not judging, just being aware of the differences in our bodies. And then once you're ready, if you want, you can come into a twist, moving your left elbow next to your left foot, hands to prayer, right elbow pointing up to the sky. Keep your nice, long, steady breath. Connecting with your breath, with yourself. And plant your palms, coming onto your fingertips, lifting your chest, being here for a moment. And then tucking your right toes, moving your left foot up and back, three-legged dog. And exhale, setting it down, lowering onto your knees, and then coming to Balasana, child's pose. Notice if this child's pose feels different than the last one, if you feel a bit more open, if you can sink your hips a little bit closer to your heels. Can roll your forehead from side to side, giving yourself a little massage. Walk both of your hands over to the right. Side body stretch in the left side of the body. And then walking them over to the left. And walking them back to center. Inhaling to lift up. Next we'll come to frog pose. So if you'd like to roll over the sides of your mat for some extra padding for your knees, you can do so. And then bring your knees wide with your feet directly behind your knees with your toes pointed out. Super important. And then move your hips back, lower down onto your forearms if possible. This is a really intense pose, so we won't be here for too long. Hips moving back. Maybe as you feel yourself open, moving them back a little more. Sending your breath there. And then inhale to come out. You can roll out your mat and come to lay on your back. Move your feet in towards you and come to bridge pose, lifting your hips up, interlacing your fingers underneath of you, pressing your hips up towards the sky. And exhale to release your hips down. Hug your knees into your chest, keeping your upper and lower back on the mat. And grab onto the outsides of your feet for another happy baby. And again, you might notice that this one feels different than the happy baby we did earlier, or it might not. Just being aware of how this feels. Breathing here, feeling what it's like to be in this shape. And release your feet. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. Feeling your belly rise with every inhale and fall with every exhale. And when you're ready, extend your legs out long and come to Shavasana. Palms facing up, nice and comfortable, or resting pose. So letting yourself rest. Feeling how the energy might be flowing more freely through your body. Feel this sort of lightness. The earth holding you up. You don't have to do any work. You just have to be here and you just have to breathe. Feeling the muscles in your face relax. Feeling your arms relax, your shoulders relax down. Your hips, your legs. Purposefully relaxing. Keeping your mind present. Feeling the breath coming in and out of your lungs. Shavasana. Start to wake up the body, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Full body stretch. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll onto your right side, using your right bicep as a pillow. And press your left palm into the mat to come up to a seated position. We're going to work on our lotus or half lotus. So you can start, if you know you can do a full lotus, you can come to this. Otherwise, bring your right foot on top of your left hip crease. So as high up as you can. And you can be here, or if you want to try for the full lotus, try and bring your left foot to your right hip crease, or at least kind of slide it on top of your right shin. And then you can change to the other side. So crossing your legs with your left leg on top this time, and then bringing your left foot to your right hip crease for the half lotus. And if you want to slide your right foot up on top of your left leg for the full lotus, you can do this. Maybe just trying, because after these hip opening practices, you might find that you can find this pose. And then you can stay in a Padmasana, in a lotus pose, or in a half lotus, or if you just want to find a cross-legged position, you can do this. Close your eyes. Spending a few more moments in stillness, feeling what it's like to be in your body. How do you feel right now compared to before practice, beginning of practice? Think of a few adjectives to describe how you're feeling. Can keep your hands where they are, or again, you can bring them to a mudra, bringing your thumb and index finger together in a closed circle. Breathing here. And when you're ready, bring your hands to heart center and open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining. Let me know if you have questions or requests for the future. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed.